But first, the disclaimer. If you are easily offended by mild adult language, such as the S word, the B word, or vague sexual references, and the idea that people might do naughty things behind closed doors even though they're not married, do not read. Listen to this story. You will be offended. You've been warned. Don't come at me in the comments. Don't come at me in person. There is swearing in this story. You've been warned. If you're not easily offended by things of this nature, enjoy the story. Hi, I'm sci-fi and fantasy author Michael LaVoice, aka LaVoice, in your head. And I am not talking nerdy to you today. Gonna do something a little different. Gonna start a series of videos where I'm actually going to record a short story that I wrote that was also published in the anthology Tales of the E4 Mafia. The link is available in the description to the videos. Probably gonna have to break this up into several parts, but it should be fun. Gonna do a story about a group of guys who collectively eventually come to be known as the Gearhead Gorillas. But in this story, they're just a bunch of maintenance platoon members in Sorry Hawk, which is Charlie Hawk, 6th of the 52nd Space Defense Artillery. You'll see what I mean. Join me now for the beginning of Short Supply by Michael LaVoice, a Charlie Hawk story. Newly minted United Planets Army Specialist 4 Randy Stone stepped through the airlock from the transport shuttle that had brought him from the UPS Defiant to the United Planets Navy UPN space station Alpha in the Arcadia system. He forced himself not to gawk at the sights and sounds of the first real space station he'd ever set foot on. Don't look up. Don't stare at the starfield stone. Just keep your head down and look like you belong here, he thought. Arcadia was the jumping off point for much of humanity's conquest of the stars. The ship he'd arrived in, UPS Defiant, hung back near its jump point far outside most of the gravitational influence of the local star. The shuttle would pick up any personnel and supplies waiting for Defiant and bring them back before the ship jumped out again, returning to its assigned patrol area. Eternal vigilance being the price of liberty or something like that, Stone repeated in his head. It wasn't that he didn't believe in the mission. It was just, until now, he'd been far from it. The rest of humanity from Earth used Lenin Station in the Krasnodar system as its starting point to the larger galaxy. That system was governed by the Sino-Russian Alliance, the other big kid on the galactic block. Thanks to irreconcilable philosophical and political differences, humanity had never quite gotten around to that one-world utopia that so many writers, artists, and college professors had envisioned in ages past. When hyperspace travel was discovered and the mad race to claim galactic turf began, these differences only magnified. Now, the habitable planets within reasonable distance from Earth were settled by one group or the other, and small conflicts were erupting here and there. To keep its colonies and much-needed natural resources safe, the United Planets government started bulking up its army and navy. More and more personnel were being called to the stars. Bad for interstellar relations, but good for me, Stone thought. I finally get my shot off planet. As Stone entered the causeway from the docking rings section of the station, his duffel bag across one shoulder, he checked his watch for directions. His orders were to report to Station Alpha and transfer to the UPN star carrier Newcastle, where his new duty assignment waited. Juice jockey for Sea Battery, 6th of the 52nd Space Defense Artillery, SDA. His watch interfaced with the station's schedule of arrivals and departures, showing that a shuttle from Newcastle was docked at Ring Echo, on the opposite side of the station from his current position. "Because of course it is," he said to himself with a half smile and a shake of the head. "If it was easy, it wouldn't be the Army." Stone mapped the path through the station to the Echo Ring on his watch and set out. He hadn't gone more than a few meters when someone called his name. "Specialist Stone?" Stone stopped, seeking the source of the summons. A thin sergeant and another specialist, both in Army Ship Duty uniforms, SDUs, approached him from the other side of the causeway. "Yes, Sergeant?" Stone said, putting his bag down and coming to attention. "Eddie, Stone," the sergeant said. "You just got off one boat and are headed to another. This isn't a parade ground." "This one's a little stiff, Sergeant Porter," the specialist, whose name tape read Barton, said. "He might need some breaking in." Sergeant Porter gave a snort of a laugh. "I'm sure you and the rest of Mainland's platoon are up to it." "If we can't fix it, it ain't broke, Sergeant," Barton said with enthusiasm. Stone stood in the position of parade rest, not sure why he'd been stopped by these two. It was also a little annoying to be discussed as if he wasn't in the same room. He just decided to speak up when Sergeant Porter turned his attention back to him. "You squared away? Ready to go?" the NCO asked. Stone decided he must be loopy from space travel and slow on the uptake, but it was coming together now. "Sorry, Sergeant. Are you from the Newcastle?" "No, son. I'm from Charlie Hawk. I'm just attached to the Newcastle." "And before you ask," Barton added, holding out his hand for a shake, "Charlie Hawk is one of our names for Charlie Battery, 6 of the 52nd SDA Starhawk. I'm Barton." Stone nodded, grasping the offered hand. "Space operations are new to me. I've been ground-based on Earth since graduating power generation school. This assignment was sudden and I haven't had a chance to bone up on SDA terminology. What's a Starhawk?" Instead of answering, Barton unfolded a small metallic collapsible luggage cart with tiny casters for wheels and set Stone's duffel in it, extending the handle to him. "To answer your question, Starhawk stands for the System Theater Automated Robotic Homing All the Way Killer SDA Missile System," Sergeant Porter said, as they wove their way through the naval personnel, crowding the causeway en route to their own assignments. "That's the missiles you guys work with?" Stone asked. Barton shot him an offended look. "Oh, hell no. We're not hawkers. We're maintenance." "Right," Porter agreed. "Hawkers is hawkers and maintenance is maintenance." "And never the two shall mix," Barton said, like he was reciting something in church. "Roger that," Stone said, as he tried to follow them through the crowd without getting his duffel snagged on anyone's boots or letting it wander into anyone's path. He was hoping he hadn't said something stupid already. Focusing on his new unit's mission description might be a good thing to recover from a mistake. "So we service the equipment that the Hawkers use? What does the Starhawk system do exactly?" "Well, as it turns out, despite all the technological advancements that humanity is guilty of, the quickest way to kill a spaceship or a starfighter is still to tear lots of holes in it," Sergeant Porter offered. "That is the principle behind the operation of a Starhawk missile." Now, truth be told, Barton picked up the thread, they were originally designed to take down fighters. If a real ship, even a small one like a frigate, were to wander through our AO, we'd be seriously screwed. I don't care what the engineers that designed the system say. A new voice spoke from behind them, causing Stone to jump and the other two soldiers to roll their eyes in a way the speaker didn't notice. "I don't want to hear that kind of defeatist talk around my unit, Specialist Barton. The Starhawk is the finest ship killer in the universe. Nothing can outrun it or outkill it."